Hey there, boils and ghouls. I'm Mr. Macabre, and welcome back to my movie library. Yeah, background definitely looks a little bit different, especially now that I got the new chairs and everything. So, you know, yeah, well, at least you can see a couple of movie posters you weren't able to see before. So, but anyway, still looks pretty cool. Yeah, something. This was originally gonna just start off as just another, what I got like a little bit of a haul video. But something, the last few days I've been watching a few YouTube videos and I've actually got a spark of inspiration for this one. And one thing I've noticed is watching some of these videos, a lot of movie collectors, movie buyers, they're not really happy with the way things are going as far as, the state of physical media is right now. And I kind of get it, but at the same time, I don't feel like I'm feeling the pinch as much as some people are. I mean, I'm always saying, I can always find something that I want. But I know like some people are really like downsizing their. I think it's Jamie Toomey. He's like downsizing a lot of his movie library, saying like he's not really happy with a lot of 4Ks and stuff like that. And I mean, yeah, 4K can be hit or miss. I mean, I'm definitely going to keep buying 4Ks. As a matter of fact, here soon enough, I got the 4K for 7 coming, and I got other stuff coming too. So I'm not giving up 4K, and I'm not giving up Blu-ray either. But I know a lot of people are just kind of like at an odd place where they're at right now, and and I was just watching Blockbuster Box that do a video where he was talking about the love and feeling of buying physical media and stuff like this, and I kind of agree with him a lot. Like his take on it was, if you're gonna buy, for one thing, yeah, one problem is a lot of people, and I'm actually one of these people. A lot of people have just about everything they could want in terms of movies, and I'm in that category. I was thinking about that the other day. It's all like, I'm sitting here like I'm looking at my collector's edition shelves. I got, my big collection back here and stuff. And I'm like, something, honestly, if I had to stop right now, I'm not going to stop, but if I had to stop right now and stick with what I have, I'm good. I got just about everything I could possibly want there, and so one of the things that, and I'm sure you guys already noticed this because you see my videos and stuff. One thing I've been doing is trying to find ways to kind of, spruce up my collection and, try to make it look a little bit nicer. And you're going to see some examples of that here in a minute and, branch off into other areas, you know. And a lot of us are doing this. Like my friend Rob from VHS 82 apostrophe. Great guy. Go check out his channel. Excuse me. He just did like a 2-part video talking about the movies, the movies he owned. I think mostly horror films and stuff, but there's some other stuff in there too. But movies that he owned and loved from the year 1982. And he did a video here just a little while ago talking about his See, he's trying to get the nice big line of Blue Underground DVDs. He's trying to collect that. And you guys know I will not bash DVD collectors. I'm not going to bash DVD, Blu-ray, or 4K collectors because I have them all. I mean, I'll upgrade. Yes, I prefer 4K and Blu-ray, and I will upgrade whenever I get the chance. As a matter of fact, I got something I upgraded. I'll show you in a minute. But like I said, I will never bash anybody for that because, I can understand even some people doing like DVD collecting. I mean, I remember going to my record store the other day and I saw, like they had some DVDs that, I'm not going to buy them, but, because I either have the Blu-ray or the 4K. I was like, man, they had like the DVD. It was the 2-disc collector's edition of Rob Zombie's Halloween on DVD. I know a lot of people, ew. I know. Just hear me out. Hear me out. Okay. It was the beautiful DVD set with the slip cover, and the slip cover had like the lenticular cover and everything else. They had that, and they had like George Romero's like Survival of the Dead with the beautiful lenticular slip cover and stuff. It's like, even though DVDs, I prefer Blu-ray and 4K. It's like, I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of tempting to have those. to have them with that slipcover and stuff. It's like, yeah. So, I mean, I get it, I get it. And, it's like, yeah, I mean, I've seen, like my friend Rob, he's doing the Blue Underground collection. And, I've seen other people do it. It's like, actually, if you have, if you were a DVD collector and you have the big row of all the, Blue Underground DVDs, the nice, kind of like almost library feel of it with the spines and everything else, I get it. I understand that. So anyway, so yeah, so basically what was going to start off as just kind of a haul video is actually going to be another kind of video where I'm pretty much talking about these are certain ways that kind of keep it interesting for me. And, it's kind of one of the things that keeps me going as far as like, buying movies and stuff like that. And we'll go ahead and we'll get started. Wasted enough time, we'll go ahead and get started. So one of the ways that, like I keep it, fresh and interesting for me is something like this. I went to my local record store the other day. I picked up a few things and, you guys have seen me do this before, when and where I can, I'll pick up nice slip covers, to kind of, give my collection a little bit of pizzazz, stuff. So, oh, hey, here's a nice slip cover. Like when I got my American Psycho slip cover, that was beautiful because I'd never seen it. It's like, ooh, it's kind of a nice way to touch it up. So only got one, but I got the slip cover for Cujo. This will go nice with my 4K and everything else. And of course, you guys know, I always put all my movies, in protective cases and stuff. That's one of the ways, like I kind of like it. It kind of, for me, it's kind of like, personalizing it and, kind of like, hey, this is the way I do it. This is mine. So anyway, so yeah, I was able to get a nice, pretty much brand spanking new slipcover for Cujo for my 4K. And, yeah, this is just one of the ways I keep it interesting for me. So there you go. So another one of my movies gets a beautiful slipcover and, inside the protective case looks really nice. So that's one of the ways I keep it interesting. Another way that I keep things interesting is, I like to try to find, I love movie soundtracks. And you guys have seen that. I've got vinyl soundtracks. I've got lots of CD soundtracks and everything else. Found this the other day, and I got it for $2.50. And this is the original King Kong CD soundtrack. So this is another way to me that I like to keep things interesting. Like Go gets, this is the thing. It's like I never even knew this even existed. And, this is cool. It's nice to have this, and, the only thing I admit, I'm not really the keenest on the way it's packaged because the disc is in there and it's kind of tight to get out. So I've already ripped this to my laptop and everything. So, so I don't have to keep taking the disc in and out all the time. But look at this here, it comes with a little collectible booklet. So, with, writing and stuff about the movie and about, the music score and everything else, And this is another way I do it. I like to go out and, find soundtracks that I didn't even think that I could. See, here's even some, like, looks like storyboard, but I imagine, obviously it's like, graphic novel design and stuff. But this is cool. This is like another way. It keeps me interested. It keeps me wanting to keep getting out there and looking because you never know what you're going to find. But, yeah, and, this is cool to, actually own these kind of soundtracks because honestly, like for the longest time, I figured something like this, I would have to wait and see if I could maybe find like a, I don't know, like $50 vinyl, collector's edition vinyl for something like this. But damn, $2.50 for the CD soundtrack. Disc is in great condition. Like I said, though, I went ahead and ripped this onto my laptop and everything. So, just because of the way the CD is packaged and stuff like that. I already showed that to you guys, but to show you how it's packaged and stuff, like keep pulling in and out of there all the time, the disc is going to get scratched. But anyway, so yeah, this is, this is cool. This is another thing that kind of keeps me interested is like branching out, of course, like, movie posters too. I mean, look at this. You guys know I love my movie posters and stuff like that, So, yeah, so this is another way that I do it. So we got that. Now, I just mentioned, like I said, I'm not going to bash DVD collectors. If that's your choice, that's your choice. I'm not here to judge you for that or anything like that. I could understand some people be like, well, but the thing is like Blu-ray and 4K are the better quality and stuff. It's like, why settle for the less quality, It's like, yeah, I mean, you can make that argument and stuff, but at the same time, if you got a great TV and a great player, great setup and stuff like that, they usually make DVDs look, pretty damn good. I mean, some DVD, I have watched some DVDs like on my 4K player and they look hideous and stuff like that, which is one of the reasons why, for me personally, like if I can upgrade to Blu-ray or 4K, I will. But I understand, like for some people, for them, there's something about it that they like. It's really not much different if you think about it than like people who are VHS collectors. They're talking about, yeah, they like the poor picture quality and this and that, and yeah, they know it looks like crap and stuff, but hey, that's part of the experience of it and stuff. I imagine for some DVD collectors, it's probably the same thing for them too. They don't want the super glossy, polished image and stuff. I do personally, but I understand some people don't. But anyway, so that's neither here nor there. So, this here, I've been wanting to upgrade this for a long time for my Stephen King collection. Finally was able to get it. It did cost a little bit, but, I mean, I didn't break the bank or anything on this. I mean, I was able to afford it, but still, it was a little bit pricey. But I was able to upgrade my DVD to Blu-ray for Stephen King's Kingdom Hospital. This is a Spanish import, and I don't know if you can see on there or not, but, the text and everything on there, it's all in Spanish, so I can't read it, but, I don't really think I need to. I mean, pretty much I know what the show is all about and stuff, It's Stephen King basically doing kind of an American adaptation of Lars von Trier's series, The Kingdom. And this is a 3-disc Blu-ray set. Disco! There you go. Disco 2. Disco 3. So... But yeah, this is really nice, able to get it. And, beautiful thing about this, even though it's an import, the discs are region free, and stuff. So, and here's my, I don't need these anymore, but here are my DVDs of Kingdom Hospital. So, so now I can replace these with this. And there you go. Now I have it. This is a 4-disc set. This is 3-disc set. So, better picture quality, all that kind of stuff. You still get the same bonus features and things like that. Trailer, making of, stuff like that. So, anyway, so really nice. And you guys know me. Like I said, if I can upgrade from DVD to Blu-ray and or 4K, I'll do it. So yeah. So it's really nice. So now I can take this, donate it to give it to somebody who will love it and appreciate it and really want to have it. So there you go. Just one of the ways, it's like I like to scale down my DVD collection and, I do condense things and stuff like that. So, and that's like a thing, I put this in a 4-disc case. So, I could go through later and see if I have maybe like another Stephen King DVD or something, that I can put in here and just condense it, like make more room. Things like that. That's one of the ways I, try to keep things interesting. So, but anyway, so yeah, nice to get this finally on Blu-ray. I know it was Vivision or Imprint. They did it Blu-ray, which is long since out of print now. But now I have it. I can watch it, beautiful high definition, and I now have it on Blu-ray. So, really nice upgrade for me. This is another way that, to me is kind of interesting. This was something I never originally intentioned on, but it's like, since I got this one, you guys remember a little while ago, I got I got a great deal on the Steelbook, 4K Steelbook for Escape from New York. I ended up getting another great deal on this one, and this is something, honestly, could be a possibility now that I think of it. The other day, for under $20, believe it or not, I got the 4K Steelbook for Pumpkinhead. And this is actually kind of getting me thinking, this could be something potential. If I could keep getting more and more of these, I got a handful now of the Scream Factory 4K Steelbooks this could be something, if I could keep coming across, I'm not going to go out and pay, 35 to $50 for a friggin' 4K steelbook. But if I can get them for this kind of price at my local record store, get them for like, $20 or under, I might actually consider that. That could be a possibility. Why not build up, a 4K steelbook collection of, Scream Factory titles, and this one here, so this is really nice. I mean, I'm not the biggest steelbook collector in the world or anything like that. I mean, you guys know me. I usually prefer, just the standard case with a slipcover, but, I can maybe see doing something like this, and really nice, beautiful gloss finish on it. And there's on the back. That's really cool. Unfortunately, I don't think the camera is doing it much justice, but then you open it up. There you go. And, that's, like I said, it's not something that I'm like going to actively pursue, but it is an idea. It's like, hey, if I could keep, like I go into my local record store, they don't have much there, but I got some money burner hole in my pocket, and, hey, I could keep coming across like some of these, 4K steelbooks for, a really good price. I might actually start doing that, kind of build up a Scream Factory 4K steelbook library. I got this one. Now I got Escape from New York. I got The Fog, Carrie. I got Army of Darkness. I got a few of these. I do have quite a few of these. So, I'm off to a good start. So yeah, that might be something I could definitely see myself doing. Like I said, it's not something I'm going to actively pursue, but at the very least, it gives me a reason to kind of keep going out and checking once in a while. Like, yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of something to do too. It's like, hey, and also too, it's another way to kind of spruce up the old collection. It's like, here you go. So yeah, so that's nice. So got the Pumpkinhead 4K steelbook. So I mean, these are just ideas. It's just a way to keep things interesting. Pick this up here. This got this for a good price. This movie is god awful, but you'll understand why I picked it up in just a second. So I got Birdemic, Shock and Terror. This movie is atrociously bad. I mean, it's like, I know for a lot of people, it's one of those, like, it's so bad it's good kind of movies. To me, it's kind of like, it's just bad for being bad, but Severin, I got to admit, Severin really gave this, the loving treatment on here. You got a bunch of bonus features on here. Audio commentary with director James Nguyen. Audio commentary with stars Alan Bogg, I hope I said that right, and Whitney Moore. Deleted scenes. Birdemic Experience Tour featurette. James Nguyen on movie close-up. Movie Head, the James Nguyen story trailer. Birdemic Experience 2010 trailer, teaser trailer, theatrical trailer, and electronic press kit. The best worst movie of all time. And yeah, this movie it's really bad. It's really hard to sit through. You say, okay, well, if it's that damn bad, then what the hell did you buy it for? You guys have seen me do this before. Well, the reason why I bought this, honestly, is so I could put in my RiffTrax Live DVD, because that was the thing. At one period of time, I lived in a very confined space. And to help save space, I took a lot of my DVDs and stuff out of their cases and put them into CD wallets and stuff like that. And I've been regretting it ever since. And for the longest time, I've been looking and searching, trying to see if I could find a new DVD version of RiffTrax Live Birdemic. And fortunately, it's out of print now. It's really hard to find and everything else. So I figured, probably this ended up just kind of being the best solution when I came across this. And, I was like, here you go. It's, for a really good price and everything else. Why not just go ahead and pick this up? I can put the DVD in there. It's in a case. It's safe. Things like that. So that's the reason why I picked this one up. And, yeah, so, that's just one of the things I've been doing. I'll look and I'll look and I'll look. And if I keep trying, if I can't find, another copy, like I said, trying to find the DVD copy of, RiffTrax Live Birdemic, it's like, well, I can't find that, but I can get, the movie itself pretty cheap. I can just buy the movie, put the disc in there. So it's like, if I ever want to watch it, I know where it's at. So it's like, yeah. So if I'm ever like, yeah, I want to watch RiffTrax Live Birdemic, I just go in here, get Birdemic, and I know where the disc is at, so I can watch it there. I don't know. I might just check, I might check out the bonus features and stuff just for the hell of it at some point. Just out of morbid curiosity. But anyway, so yeah, just, do that. So yeah, so I'm sure somebody might come over one day and be like, why the hell you have this? It's like, well, there's a story behind that. But anyway, so yeah, pick this up, Birdemic, Shock and Terror. So got this one here. There's two more to go through. Got this one here. Okay, if you guys remember, it was a video or two ago where I got, for store credit, I got 2 of the Agatha Christie murder mysteries that Kino Lorber just put out. I got Death on the Nile and The Mirror Cracked. Well, I went in and I splurged and I picked up Evil Under the Sun. Really, really good one. I know, a lot of people kind of like, well, you need to get the 70s version of Murder on the Orient Express and kind of make them a package deal. No, I'm sorry. I saw it on, as a matter of fact, I watched it for free on YouTube the other day. And honestly, that version of Murder on the Orient Express, it does not hold up for me. I'm sorry. I'm just not. I know Albert Finney is a great actor. I'm just not a fan of his portrayal as Poirot. I much prefer David Suchet. Is that how you Suchet? I hope I said it right. I probably butchered it, but I prefer his version of Poirot. Peter Ustinov is brilliant as Poirot. Honestly, I even like Kenneth Branagh's version of Poirot better. So I'm sorry, that's just not a version of Murder on the Orient Express that I'm really interested in getting. But Evil Under the Sun, this is a great movie, really, really good. You got a lot of big names in this movie. Ustinov, of course, you got Jane Barkin, Colin Blakely, Nicholas Clay, James Mason, Roddy McDowall, Sylvia Miles, Dennis Qualley, Diana Rigg, Maggie Smith. Maggie Smith is a hoot in this movie. She is so good. Oh my gosh. I can understand, I remember as a little kid, my mother thought Maggie Smith was just one of the best actresses in the world. And it's like the more of her movies I watch and the more of her performances I see, I know nowadays everybody's always going to associate her as Professor McGonagall from Harry Potter. Like, that's how she's always going to be remembered. That's fine. But it's like, my God, it's like the more movies I see with Maggie Smith, the more I adore this woman as an actress. She is a legend. And, may she rest in peace. She is sorely missed. But my God, this woman is brilliant in everything she does. And she is so good in this movie. And yeah, so I just went ahead and I splurged, because I wanted to go ahead and get this and add it with the other 2 that I picked up. To me, it's almost kind of like a box set. And there you go. You got alternate artwork and stuff. Of course, it's Kino Lorber disc art, so you know what you're going to get with it. So, no big surprise there. But, and that was the thing. Believe it or not, I actually... like I said, I don't bash DVD collectors. At one point, I used to have, I don't know if anybody remembers this, I had the Lionsgate DVD box set that had all 3 movies. It had this one. Maybe that's why, to me, it kind of feels almost like a trilogy of sorts. Because I had that Lionsgate DVD box set of these 3 movies. This one, Mirror Cracked, and Death on the Nile. I had that nice DVD box set of it. Maybe to me that's why it comes almost like a series or a trilogy to me or something. But anyway, a really great movie. Great Agatha Christie murder mystery. This movie is a blast to watch. Oh, excuse me, sorry. But yeah. And so yeah, really glad to get this. And last but not least, this one here, I've been eyeballing this one for a while. This is an Australian horror movie. This is another thing, too, is I try to look for not bad movies, but kind of silly horror movies. I'm the kind of person, I love to laugh. I love humor. I love to laugh. It's one of my favorite emotions and stuff like that. And one of the things, I love horror comedies. And especially if they're done well. I've seen horror comedies that are done just absolutely atrociously. But, if something is kind of silly, is kind of gimmicky or silly or something like that, I don't mind. I'm one of the few people I actually like, the like horror movies based off of classic cartoons, like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I just, bought Screamboat. That one was fun. The Popeye horror movies and stuff. I like kind of the silly, gimmicky kind of horror films. And this one is a little bit silly and gimmicky. I picked up Rippy. This is the Steelbook. I heard about like a zombie kangaroo in the outback, and this one, like, this intrigued me and stuff. Unfortunately, though, if you see, where is it at? Where's that? Yeah, kind of right there at the bottom. You can see kind of like the little dent there. There is a tiny dent there in the Steelbook, but that's why it has a matte finish. But a zombie kangaroo in the Australian outback going around, killing people, eating them and stuff like that. There's an outbreak in the outback. But the one thing I did not know is that this was a 4K. See, this didn't have the J card when I bought it. Michael Biehn is really good in this movie. But yeah, this is a German 4K and a German Blu-ray. The beauty of it, though, is both discs are region free. All you have to do is put the disc in, select English, and you're good to go. Of course, 4Ks are region free anyway, usually. But yeah, Michael Biehn is, he's a really funny, I like his character in this movie. But, yeah, this turned out to be a fun time. You got some good gore, some good, practical effects. I will say, though, the CGI zombie kangaroo is hideous. I'm sorry, the digital effects look horrible. The practical effects look great. And this movie looks gorgeous in 4K. Oh my God. Like all the Australian, like landscapes and stuff like that. Man, I was sitting here watching. It's kind of nice too, watching it with, the new chairs. And, it's like, I feel like I'm at the right distance, to be looking at the TV and everything to get, the full effect of, like the 4K transfer and stuff. When I watched this the other night, it's like, my God, this looked amazing. It looked so gorgeous, so much detail, so much color, sharpness in the image, and everything else. And this movie was fun. It was a blast, And so, and that's one of the things, though, too, that keeps me intrigued into going around and looking for movies and things like this. I try to find the kind of quirky, weird, offbeat stuff that would appeal to me, stuff that would interest me. And so, a lot of like the mainstream media, like mainstream movies and stuff, a lot of this stuff, it just doesn't appeal to me, stuff like that. I like to try to find the more kind of weird, kind of out there stuff. And that's one of the things that keeps me going is, like stuff I wouldn't normally think of, but stuff like this or movies like Black Sheep, the New Zealand movie Black Sheep. That movie's awesome. If you've never seen Black Sheep, not the Chris Farley, David Spade movie, the New Zealand Killer Sheep movie. If you get a chance, watch it. That movie is a blast. It's a great time. Funny as hell. Lots of blood and gore, great kills, all that kind of stuff. And this movie is, not much different, So that's kind of the thing, It's like, kind of open your horizons, kind of, broaden, expand a little bit, kind of look for a little bit of the kind of out there stuff. Some of that stuff, really does pay off, And so that's just it for me, So, there's all kinds of reasons, to keep me going on this, And also, too, it's kind of fun to... That's the thing, like you see something like this, or you see like, New Zealand horror films or Spanish horror films or giallos or something like that. That's one of the great things about it, It's kind of like, it's fun to see how other cultures, approach horror films or murder mysteries or comedies or sex films or whatever. Not pornos, but, like erotic films or, it's just interesting to, open up and like explore like different, the way different cultures, how they, how they see the worldview and stuff like that, and how, like America's, things are done in a certain way, it's like now, like a lot of, looking like now, a lot of slasher movies and stuff, they got away from, the exploitation, like Terrifier is about the only thing you've got that's close. Like you got Scream 7 coming out. It's going to be so just kind of homogenized and, people are going, oh, it's so brutal, it's so gruesome and stuff. It's like, it's really toned down. Compared to the stuff we got in the 80s, compared to like 80s slasher movies and, horror movies, slasher movies from, like Italy or France or Spain or whatever else, and stuff like Scream is really watered down. It's, it almost feels PG-13 to me. Now, I'm not crapping on anybody that wants to go see Scream 7. You want to see it, go see it. Have a good time. I actually am jealous of you because I wish I could enjoy those movies. But I'm sorry, just Scream just isn't my cup of tea. Anyway, but like I said, no judgment. All right. But anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much what ended up being the inspiration for this video. Just, seeing all of this. And then it's like looking at this little stack here. I was going to show, I was like, this is how it keeps interesting for me. Is just kind of like, kind of branch out. Like look at, movies from other countries, kind of explore a little bit, see how other cultures view, the world and stuff. That's another way to do it. It's like build on, get like, your nice movie collections, like, favorite storytellers like Agatha Christie, actors, actresses, whatever, it's like, here you go, use it to condense some of the stuff you already have, make it look a little bit nicer, stuff like that, like, here you go, look for ways to kind of, give your movie collection a little bit of pizzazz, and stuff like that. If you have the chance to upgrade for a good price, upgrade, treat yourself, you deserve it. And, also too, not just go for movies, look for soundtracks, look for books, look for, games, whatever, posters, whatever your thing is, it's like, there's so much more to it, it's like, and it also is kind of nice because it kind of, like if you go say, hey, I'm going to go hunt for soundtracks for a little bit, it kind of gives you a little bit of a breather and you don't feel, to me, it's like you don't feel like, okay, I could kind of take a little bit of a break away from this and then come back and, maybe by then there'll be something there that I really want to jump on, something I really got to go for, or something like that, or work on my poster collection for a while or something like that. So there's plenty of other ways. And then in the meantime too, look for slipcovers, look for ways to decorate up your collection and stuff like that and have fun with it, and just make it unique, make it you, make it fun, make it, it's like you're the one that has to live with it. So, just like I'm always saying, love your movie library, it'll love you back. So anyway, so I think I've pretty much said everything that there is need to be said in 32 minutes. Oh my God. This is definitely one of my longest videos. So that's pretty much going to wrap it up. So I hope I didn't offend anybody with this video. There was no intention to offend anybody, but so anyway, so that's it. So if any of you took the time to watch all of this, I thank you for doing it. I appreciate you for doing it. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, would you mind leaving a like? If you haven't already, please go and subscribe to my channel. All that stuff you always hear the YouTubers say, ring the bell, blah, 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 notifications, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. Like on the video, share, all that good stuff. And I think that's about it for now. But yeah, go out there and just have fun. If you feel like you need, I understand that, if you feel like you need to kind of take a break away from the movie buying for a minute, do that. It's actually not a bad idea. Forget the FOMO and all that other kind of stuff because, you might be looking for something. Okay, like this could be a good example. Say like, you're looking for Pumpkinhead and you want to get it with the, the slipcover and stuff like that. And every time you see it, it's like way too high and it's just out of your budget and stuff like that. And then, you let a little bit of time pass and then you come back, it's like, well, damn, I still can't get the slipcover version, for a good price, but damn, I can get a steal on the Steelbook, And it's like, yeah, you could take them, yeah, they're more delicate and fragile, but if you protect them and, take care of them, don't sit there, don't do that, you'll be fine, but yeah, you'd be surprised what you could find, and just keep looking, and just enjoy yourself. Have fun with it, and try to keep it interesting. Keep it interesting for yourself. And, if you have to take a break, take a step away for a minute or two, do that, I think you find that. You can still find stuff, So anyway, so that's it. So enough talking. Take care, everybody. Have a good night. I'll see you all later.